because hi everybody, I'm Michael and this is Julie, and Julie is going to take the lead.
That's okay. Dave Valeri. See, we are a double act, Jamie. I did say that to you. Anyway, we are so delighted to have this evening with us Jamie Catto, who is absolutely fantastically famous in my mind, and I'm delighted he could join us. Anyone that's a fan of Ram Dass will probably have seen the amazing movie Becoming Nobody, and that is where Michael and I actually got the opportunity to meet Jamie. So we're going to ask him a few questions about that. And we're also delighted, because we're putting this out on Sunday evening, that Jamie will recite the Ho'oponopono prayer with us. Because for Michael and I, we've been doing it for the past 4 years, probably for the past 2 years now on YouTube, but we feel it's a really powerful prayer. And it's all about unity consciousness. And we know Jamie is on the same page. So Jamie, as they say in Ireland, Céad Míle Fáilte, 100,000 welcomes. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're delighted to chat to you.
Thanks for having me. Beautiful.
Yeah, so I believe we'll talk first about your new program, Gamechanger. As I said before we came on, I can't use rude words on YouTube, I don't think, but I think it was number 3 on the list was mind and had something rhyming with buck. So what is your program Gamechanger about? And what we'll do is we put the details in the
description. Yeah, people can get in touch.
Well, the main thing is, well, there's 2 main things. The first is that we notice that so many people are doing so much of their self-development and their healing and their exploration alone, and the Buddha said, do it with your mates, as one of the 4 noble truths. We can see each other, we can laugh together, we can lighten up the whole thing. It can get very serious, very lonely, very heavy when we're kind of doing it by ourselves most of the time. So I wanted to create a gang of people, a merry band of pirates, off to find the sunken treasure together, with a beautiful, fun, lightened up attitude. A lot of people are very, very into the suffering side of self-development. They're like, here is the comfort zone, and outside the comfort zone is your learning zone, and like this constant battering away that you have to be in pain in order to grow and learn. But I've had millions of illuminating and enlightening experiences when I've been laughing my tits off. So I'm a big believer that there's plenty of healing and progress that can be made well inside the comfort zone, having a beautiful, intimate, connected, fun time with a bunch of unpretentious people who don't need you to pretend you're fine all the time. They don't need you to pretend life isn't messy. It's light, it's dark, it's up, it's down, and we all just lighten up about it together. So that's the main hub of it, is to have a good time and it not be so serious, and to have a time where we make some lifelong friends, some chosen family who will know you long after the Game Changer group has finished. So we meet every Thursday. You can choose either the lunchtime or the evening meeting, and we meet on my Zoom. But then after the 4 months, when it's finished, we've done this group 10 or 11 times now, people just carry on a different Zoom account. So it kind of has shown itself to work, that people, they don't want to end the course when it ends. So they keep meeting up every Thursday just on a different Zoom account in different clusters. And those are the main 2 things, really, which is very in line with Ram Dass. It's keep it fun. Obviously there are some things which are very tender, and it's not like everything's made a laughter about it and like it's some sort of spiritual bypassing. Some of the things are very tender, but it's the general atmosphere of it is very social and beautiful and mutually caring, and as I said, lightened up, not so heavy and serious and like, look at my deep suffering. In your country where you're based is one of the deepest sort of worshippers of suffering that you can get. Look, he died for your sins, and if you want to be a saint, you have to die a martyr's death, and you have to suffer, and you have to sacrifice. And it's really been hammered into us that if you're not suffering, you're not being spiritual. But I just really don't believe that. I believe there's so much beautiful community and friendship and connection, and illumination and healing when we're actually having a beautiful time with each other.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. 2 converts here, definitely.
Yeah, and we have a picture here behind us. I don't know if you can see it. It's of Montsegur in the south of France, where the Cathars was the last sound of the Cathars, and we've brought groups there, like-minded people. And again, it's been fun and experience and out to the beach and do stuff. Yes, there is spiritual work done, but spiritual work can be done, sitting in a restaurant on the beach, just enjoying each other's company, and even having
God's amazed.
Yeah,
God's amazed when we're even interested. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't care what path, you know, whether you're coming the Jesus path or the Buddha path or the Muslim or the Jewish or the Sikh or the, you know, Hindu. The very fact that you even care enough to even look into that room in any flavor, God is delighted in this day and age. For anyone to be even interested in spirit in any form is a miracle.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
agree.
no, definitely, Jamie. We're two converts, and just you mentioned there around us, Michael and I are tremendous fans. We were saying to you also that we watch. There were little, I think there were 3 minute episodes to the teachings of Ram Dass, and we used to watch it over and over because he was inspirational. And Michael and I found him separately. I've been listening to him for 20 odd years. I don't know,
Yeah,
Michael,
probably the
probably
same.
about
Yeah.
the same. But we were a little bit jealous that you got the chance to meet with him. And it was a really beautiful documentary film that you created. And we could even sense the emotion. I think one of my favorite parts was when I think we're all a soul family, and he had said, well, actually, could you tell me your favorite part, and then I'll tell you what my favorite part is, because yeah, it was an
You mean
amazing.
apart from the part where he named me as his successor?
Yeah.
Very jealous.
Yeah.
No, he was just basically, he never, you know, I've met him quite a few times. He was in both my other One Giant Leap movies as well,
Yeah, that's right.
which was, he was obviously a smaller part in those. And then I was like, God, we need to just do Ram Dass the movie. But I guess, you know, he looked at me and he just said, listen, like, I hang out with this beautiful family of beings and saints and brothers and sisters and people that are around me that I love, and you're one of them.
Yeah.
You're one of them, you know. And
Yeah.
he was basically trying to say to me, stop. You feel like you're on the outside, Jamie, but you're the only person who's putting yourself there.
Yeah.
So it was an invitation to remind me to stop putting myself on the outside. He goes, there's no one making you an outsider except yourself, you know, and that was profound for me.
Oh, yes. I remember actually, and it was around that clip where he looked at you and there was a pause and he got emotional and he said, I've seen your soul. And it was beautiful. I'm getting goosebumps now.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful movie, and it encompasses so much and appeals to everyone, I think. So thank you so much for putting it together and putting it out there for the world.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Michael?
Yeah, because shortly after we met you in Dublin, Ram Dass actually passed. So it was, you know, the timing was perfect. And what I admired about him is, despite the stroke and all the anguish that went with it, he said he found so much peace and happiness in it. He wouldn't wish it on anybody, but it had given him what he needed to have, you know.
Grace.
Yeah, and
Grace,
it was just incredible.
We're really big
Very
believers in finding the gold. You know, we're alchemists, and we try that whenever something heavy is happening or something difficult is happening, still to, without bypassing it and sweeping it under the carpet, but to see what is the gold we can draw from this. So if we have an experience with someone where they've broken our trust or we've fallen flat on our face, what is the message? Was I being too naive? Was I being too pushy? Was I blinding myself to something? We have the 5 golden keys of alchemy, we call them in our school, because we're quite pretentious. In fact, I think it's called the unpretentiously named 5 golden keys of alchemy. And the 5 questions we always ask when anything, and your listeners, it might be helpful. 5 things, if you ask these 5 questions when anything bad is happening or anything unwanted or difficult, you go, first of all, question 1, if I had set this up as a training, what was I trying to show myself? So in what way is this experience some sort of a learning or training? What am I trying to learn from this? The second thing is, how is this experience a reminder for me to self-care in a way that I may have forgotten to or neglected to? The third question is, how is this an invitation for me to show up more and say something that hasn't been said and really be maybe more honest than I've been before? The fourth question is, how does this hurt more because of my painful past? And the fifth question is, through all of this, what are the gifts I can share with others? And if you ask those 5 questions about pretty much anything that's going on, it will always turn it into alchemy. It will always get you to draw the best out of any experience you possibly can, even if it's a really difficult one. So that's one of the cornerstones that we work with in the Gamechanger.
Yeah, no,
that's wonderful. Yes, thank you. And as Michael said, Jamie, we're going to put the details of the Gamechanger and all the different accomplishments that you've had in the description, so people can click on it and
Bless you.
follow up. And yes, because
And no, I have to say,
Oh, yes.
before you go any further,
Oh,
is
yes.
another thing I advise people to do is take time out and watch One Giant Leap and One Giant Leap, What About Me? Because to me, it's the visuals as well as the music,
yeah.
as well as the people. And I spoke to Ben Cole way back when it came out. He was over in Dublin, and he spoke about, you know, the journey around the world and putting it together and how it was put together, and it was absolutely fabulous. I remember at the time I had it on in the house
all the time.
all the time. You
It
know,
was-
for the visuals and the music, and I bought the CDs and I have the
It was
DVDs.
make or break, Jamie. If I didn't like it, we weren't going to date. So you go to the courtship to flourish.
Yeah.
Well, I'll send you the links to the up-to-date links to the movies, and I'll also send you obviously the Gamechanger link. But one other thing I'd like to send you is a new album that we just finished, which is called All Heart.
Oh, wow.
And it's a beautiful record. It's kind of dedicated to all the movement teachers and ecstatic dance teachers and movement facilitators and the 5 rhythms and open floor and movement medicine, all the people that are keeping people's bodies moving. It's dedicated to Gabrielle Roth and all those people.
Lovely.
So it's just finished that album. It's called All Heart. I'll send you a link to that as well. It's very beautiful.
That'd be wonderful.
That'd be
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Yeah.
And we'll promote it also on our Facebook and our Instagram and our
Yeah.
Twitter. Yeah, and thank you so much, Jamie. And I think we had said to you that this is only a short podcast because we're aware people have busy lives, but we definitely want to talk to you again. But if it's okay with you, we always like to recite the Ho'oponopono prayer because
Let's do it.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that would be fantastic. And then I will let Michael talk. I apologize. It's the typical Irish wife thing. We usually say it 3 times, but it's perfect because there are 3 people, because I would be a trained Celtic priestess. So the power of 3 is phenomenal. So Michael, do you want to say something about it? And then we'll finish up, Jamie, but please stay on because we do want to chat to you some more. And thank you so much for this evening. It's been magical for both of us.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. And just the way we do it, Jamie, is we have, you know, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And then, according to Joe Dispenza, shortly before then Hugh passed, he said there was a 5th line, which is I forgives myself. And he said that sort of encompasses everything else. So we normally add that in, and people sort of look at us and go, oh, I didn't hear that one, but it's, you know, it's not, we're trying to spread the word as such, you know. So do you want to say it? Do you want to lead
Yes,
it?
I will. And just to let you know too, Jamie, we have a St. Brigid healing flame that we light. And Brigid is a saint. I know, yes, the Irish, they're notorious for the suffering in the Catholic Church, as you mentioned earlier. But I often feel that there was an energy before the Catholic Church came to Éire, as we call it. And Brigid was a goddess. And then she became St. Brigid. So it's also the divine feminine. And yes,
of course. And I'm not knocking the beautiful Christian people who are not just addicted to suffering and sort of the bizarre gold hoarding of the Vatican.
Yes.
But of course, there's a lot of lay people on the ground who are doing beautiful charitable work. I'm not ruling them all out. I just think that the club they all belong to is a little bit strange.
Yes.
It's a bit violent.
Yes.
But let's forgive that in the Ho'oponopono prayer.
Okay. All right. So I can start, and then Michael, and then if you'd like to finish, and then we'll close for this evening.
Yeah.
So I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I forgives myself.
I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I forgives myself.
I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I forgive myself.
Perfect. Namaste.
Lovely. Namaste.
Yeah.
Gurmila mohagat slán agus bá.
Thanks very much, Jamie. And we shall talk to you very, very soon.
Super.